Investing through Cyprus is the way to go to access international markets, as the country offers a variety of incentives as an intermediate jurisdiction. That was the message that was conveyed to representatives from American companies during a private roundtable discussion on April 14th at the Harvard Club in New York, organized by the Cyprus Embassy Trade Center. Co-sponsored by the Cyprus U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the discussion featured attorney Michael Mavridis, a partner at Bingham McEachern LLP, and Cyprus-based attorney Christian Belagias, who focused their presentation on Cyprus as an appealing intermediate jurisdiction for global investments, as well as an investment management jurisdiction. The panelists were introduced by Cyprus Trade Commissioner to New York, Aristos Konstantin, who welcomed the guests and briefly gave an overview introduction on Cyprus, stressing the merits of the country as an intermediate jurisdiction for global investments. In explaining the benefits U.S. companies can enjoy when considering investing through Cyprus, the panelists defined relevant multi-jurisdiction strategies, tax efficiencies and opportunities for minimizing costs and limiting liability, European Union membership, and the multitude of advantageous tax treaties that Cyprus enjoys with over 40 countries worldwide. What does your law firm do exactly for investors here in the United States?
Well, the law firm doesn't actually do that much. We also operate a corporate management firm called Seaward. It's a group of companies which we administered out of Cyprus. What we do with that structure is that we set up corporations. We also administer them out of Cyprus. We do multi-jurisdictional setups. And basically we run the corporations out of Cyprus. The way that it would work, that you would have, let's say, a U.S. corporation or a U.S.-based fund or fund based in an offshore jurisdiction looking to invest in Russia, Central Asia, India, or China. You would then set up a vehicle in Cyprus, which is administered out of Cyprus, and do all the activities out of Cyprus. Why would you do that? Because Cyprus has very preferential double tax treaties. It also has a tax system that facilitates this type of operation. And it's within as I said, it's within the European Union, and therefore for investors and for corporate managers here in the U.S., it's a sense of security.
Well, Mr. Drushotis, how did you enjoy today's event?
Well, I think it was a wonderful effort targeted to hedge fund managers and to the financial institutions here based in New York, the financial capital of the United States, to learn about Cyprus and what Cyprus has to offer to multinationals that want to do business outside and in Europe and using Cyprus as a base. They were very qualified speakers, and I think we had a very qualified audience as well, because they were few, but they were select.
Now, as the former Trade Commissioner for Cyprus, I mean, you understand more than anybody else the importance of investing in Cyprus, and Cyprus has been trying to compete with other European countries. Do you think that Cyprus is successful in that endeavor?
Yeah. Absolutely. If you may have seen some of the statistics, you see we have over 200,000 registered companies in Cyprus. That's quite a feat for an island that has a population of 780,000. But one must remember that Cyprus introduced legislation to attract offshore investment and to attract foreign investment and foreign companies to base themselves in Cyprus back in 1977, which was 3 years after the invasion. It was an economic development plan in order to revitalize the island after the Turkish invasion, where we lost 80% of our heavy industry, 70% of our tourism, and that effort started then. So here we are 36, 37 years later, and we have reached probably to being one of the most recognized jurisdictions and respected for foreign investment in the world.
The event was organized as a private roundtable discussion with the C-suite executives from multinational corporations, international hedge funds, and industry experts with an expressed interest in using Cyprus to facilitate their international operations and structures. Would you advise your clients to invest in Cyprus?
I think Cyprus offers a number of distinct advantages in this emerging sort of post-bubble era, in the sense that it is a EU-regulated jurisdiction, and therefore you'll be able to operate within the European Union and take advantage of their regulation. But also it's still a very low taxation jurisdiction, and the additional value is that the structure of fund management that they're setting up in Cyprus offers additional tax advantages of no tax on traded securities. So setting up a fund management in Cyprus, I think, becomes a very attractive option to be able to trade securities, whether on the European markets or in emerging markets like India, Russia, China, etc.